I wanted to talk a little bit today about data to knowledge. I want to talk about the spectrum of output from the GSSA, how we're thinking about data to knowledge, some of the key themes that come out of our work and how we can keep in touch. And the principles behind that are really outlined in this very simple diagram which says data, information and knowledge. Data is like the words in a book. You arrange those words into sentences and paragraphs and chapters, and that constitutes a book, which is effectively information. You then read that book, and by taking on that information and modifying your behaviour, that is the output, which is knowledge. And that's in effect combined with experiences we're all trying to get to make our exploration and our productivity successful. We collect a lot of data, as you've heard today. We do geophysical and geological observations. It's our bread and butter. We log drill holes, we have spectral mineralogy, geochemistry and geophysics. This is the data that the Geological Survey produces, and there's a lot of it available. We've also produced a lot of that data, taken a lot of that data and produced a lot of information for you this year. I just want to highlight some of the information which has come out. We've got a range of new map products that includes a couple of the ones which you would have seen in the exhibition space from the Musgrave province, as well as our work in the Kumamoto, both on surface geology as well as the interpreted basement geology. These includes departmental reports. So there's a range of reports this year, just highlight a few here, an amazing regolith specimen atlas. If you ever wanted to know what that piece of surface geology is, this book will provide that reference, which will unlock the mysteries of the surface geology for you. Another example is this amazing resource estimation work from Minterby done this year within the survey, and of course things like our component workshop are all documented and delivered through these departmental reports. We also produce technical articles. Here's a few examples from the MESA Journal. The MESA Journal is a fantastic way of getting some high quality and punchy geoscience on topical items, including, for example, this work on the almond dolerite, this amazing overview of South Australia's magnetite mineral potential, and some work which covers our understanding of the Olympic copper gold province, particularly around the Punt Hill region, and characterising and mapping the alteration in that area, for example. There are many others. There's at least 13 articles published this year in the MESA Journal. We've also been working very hard to produce external publications. Now, these are like go through the full peer review process through external reviewers, and are, to be honest, are very difficult, and they take a lot of work. But they are like the icing on top of the cake of the Geological Survey's work. For example, this one that Stacey Curtis has published this year on the Rapina Basin. Another one was the work of Graham Heinsohn and Stefan Thiel and Tom Wise, looking at the magnetotelluric work on the Eastern Gawler Craton, and a paper which was published by a PhD student, which we supported within the survey this year, looking at a novel technique using apatites to understand the thermal history of the Northern Gawler Craton. So there's a number of these papers. I'll just give you a selection to give you a feel for the type of work that we're doing as well. So all of that is our spectrum of information. Okay, we take from mapping all the way through to international publications. And there's a range of ways that we then deliver that information. For example, Discovery Day, for example, other technical conferences, national, international. But probably the highlight this year was the Australian Geoscience Council convention here. We had 13 talks delivered by across the range, full range of geoscience that the survey does there, 6 posters. We had people on panels, and we delivered field trips as well. So there were a lot of conversations going on at that conference, and I think the survey, really put a good lot of effort into that, and I think it was repaid very handsomely. Just some examples of our engagement. You've heard a lot about the mapping today at Tarcoola. That was a really fantastic work. Other examples include the work with BHP, Scanning Core, and also with Hillgrove with the Canon 2. We've also worked with the Nexus, the National Exploration Undercover School, which is happening the last couple of weeks here in Adelaide, which is a really important way for us to interact with the next generation of minerals industry professionals, and that's been an important and an exciting program to be part of. You've heard a lot about our research collaborations today as well, including the linkage grants that we've been involved in, active on the source to spectrum linkage, the Illuminating AusLab. You heard a talk about both of these today from our colleagues. And also the one which I'll highlight as well is our involvement in the Loop 3D modelling software linkage, which is just getting off the ground, being run mostly out of Monash Uni. Obviously, Saro, big collaborators, and we've also had a fantastic opportunity for several months now. Christina Taitzer has been here from Geoscience in Germany, who's spent 4 months working on how to model that Ausland data, that amazing data set we have, and we're actually working on the analytics behind actually producing good quality models. So it's been a fantastic collaboration. And of course, we've heard the MinEx CRC, which is a research collaboration that we're really excited to be involved in, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends down the track. Our strategic international partnerships also demonstrate ways that we're delivering on the ways that we're creating the conversations about geoscience, and that includes our work with the Geological Survey of Chile, and then our work with the Saskatchewan Geological Survey, as well as the work which we're now undertaking with the Geological Survey of China, specifically the Nanjing branch. And we're also working with the China National Nuclear Corporation. So there's a theme there around uranium, and there's themes there around copper. So it's a very commodity focused, and there's a lot of geoscience and regulation kind of conversations which happen around that space. But the point of all of that is to say that we are attempting through these various channels on a range of capacities, from local to international, to generate new knowledge in people's minds about the geology of South Australia, its mineral potential. What are the key themes? So what I did was I took all of the abstracts from those reports, from the MESA journals, and from a selection of our publications and national and international publications, and I popped it into a little website. It's a bit tacky, but bear with me, and created a word cloud. This is like summarising all of those words that we produce. What does it look like? Obviously, the size of the word is like proportional to the number of times that word is used in our publications, and it's pretty clear that data is actually at the core of what we do, which is great. It's kind of a relief to be in a scientific organisation and data is actually what we do. So this really highlights how important that is to everything we do. I guess the other two words that really stood out for me were deposit and mineral. I mean, maybe in some sentences they go together, mineral deposit, but the point is all of our data in some way is relatable back to mineral deposits, because we're a highly applied geoscience organisation. And lastly, I'd just like to highlight the fact that we still use the word rock. Despite the fact that we have these advanced analytical techniques, we have to go back to that very simple, basic word that is we're dealing with rocks. So I think that's also a fantastic outcome of this little word cloud. Okay, keep in touch. Finally, we've got a lot of ways that we can talk and have these collaborations when we're not here at Discovery Day. Get online with the MESA Journal. It's easy to subscribe, submit things, share that around, and work with us. We're really interested and into the idea of having lots of specialist workshops throughout the year. Many of you are able to go to the GCAS and the MT workshop in the last couple of days prior to Discovery Day, and I think they've been a real success. So we're hoping to continue that sort of theme throughout the year. I'm going to highlight here the Uncover Kumamoto workshop, which we'll hold in Broken Hill sometime in July. This will be collaborative with the Geological Survey of New South Wales and the Geological Society of Australia. And this is a picture of us a couple of years ago now in the Broken Hill, what is that place called? Geoscience. It's a really great little conference where we can get together and talk about Kumamoto and its margins and the geology and upcoming understanding of there. We'll probably run a little field trip associated with that as well. So get in touch. There'll be other workshops throughout the year which are related to that. A lot of us are now delving into the dark and mysterious world of social media. I think it's a very scary world, but also a really interesting world to be involved in with this dynamic, exchange of information and ideas. If you're on and interested in that, well, get in touch, be part of that conversation. Don't say anything stupid. Thank you. Basically, last, I'd just like to leave you with a quote from Sir Mark Walport, who's the Chief UK Government Science Advisor. He said, "Science is not finished until it's communicated." I think it's pretty clear from the work with the Geological Survey that this is one of our principal themes, and we really try to take this very seriously in our work. So thank you again for sticking out Discovery Day this year. It's been a great day, and I'll leave there. Thank you.